everyone, Greg here from WapCar, and today we are live from the Bira circuit in Thailand, just on the outskirts of Pattaya, for the launch of the all-new Continental ComfortContact CC7. So the CC7, it's Continental's latest comfort-oriented tyre, right? And it comes from sizes from 13 to 16 inches for the Malaysian market, with a speed rating from T to V. So it's not a high-performance tyre, and because it's 13 to 16 inches, if you drive a small to mid-size hatch or sedan or whatever, Continental's looking out for you with this one. Alright, so that's that for quick notes. Without further ado, I think we should go test the tyre, because what better way to test a tyre than to test the tyre on track? So let's go. So we're on the comfort drive segment of the drive right now, and we're going to be driving across some pretty gnarly surfaces and sharp bumps, just to see how well the CC7 soaks up all these nasties, basically all these sharp bumps, these imperfections, these jolts and whatnot. So yeah, we're gonna give it a try to see how refined the CC7 performs when we're gonna be driving over some pretty sharp bumps. Yeah, so let's give it a go. Not bad. Pretty refined. Yeah, all things considered. So I guess, yeah, zero shock pattern, working as advertised, doing its job. It understood the assignment. So a lot of those sharp bumps, right, those hard, sharp, spiky bumps are nicely isolated, actually quite ironed out, so I've got no complaints on that front. Next up, we have the low noise segment, in which we are going to be comparing the CC7 against its competitors in terms of how much noise transmits into the cabin. So measuring the cabin noise inside, we recorded a total of 64 to about 66 decibels, which is not bad, solid number. In the competitor tyre, the numbers are pretty much the same, but in real life, the Helmholtz resonators, hope I'm saying that right, allow for a quieter ride because of the frequency difference. So in short, dB levels more or less the same, but when you hear it in real life, in real world applications, there's a very noticeable difference. Okay, so thoughts on the CC7 so far. Looking at my notes here, ride comfort noticeably better than the outgoing CC6, which says a lot, because the CC6, from what I can recall, wasn't a particularly bad tyre, and it's not that old, so it goes to show how much they've built upon the CC6 to produce the CC7 and make it, even noticeably better. So that's good. And as for the highlights for the CC7, we've got the whole Zen Philosophy, Z-E-N, right? The whole theme of this tyre is about peace and tranquility. So we'll start with the Z, which is a zero shock pattern. It features a unique tread pattern which helps to reduce shocks and vibrations, as well as a special softener in the compound that allows it to better adapt to rough surfaces. The CC6 had the 0 dB ethers, which reduced road noise, but the CC7 aimed for that, as well as reducing shocks and vibrations. The E is for the Everflex compound, which is different from the CC6's Whisper compound. And here, wet and dry braking performance are up by 7 and 5% respectively over the CC6. Unfortunately, we didn't get to put that to the test because Continental had other plans for us, but we'll get to that in a bit. Now, we hit the N in Zen, the noise muter. There are two elements here. The Noise Breaker 3.0 are these little bumps that break up the sound waves travelling through the grooves of the tyres. Then, the Helmholtz resonators, which are these chambers that draw in airwaves and absorb noise frequencies. Now, all in all, compared to the CC6, the biggest improvements lie in the handling, wet and dry braking capabilities. And now, on to that little extra surprise. The UltraContact 7, the UC7, and this is the one that we're going to test out in terms of its wet handling and braking. Now, the UC7 has what Continental calls the Diamond DNA, right? D stands for Diamond Compound, N stands for Noise Muter 3.0, and A is Aqua Channel Advanced. So yeah, we're gonna put that to the test. Let's see how it goes. Now, as for wet handling, the UC7 really proved its mettle against the competitor, because basically we drove two cars, one with the UC7s and one with the competitor tyres, through these corners at give or take 60 kilometers per hour, and the UC7 felt a lot more, noticeably more sure-footed and stable through the corner. In the competitor tyre, it was, I wouldn't say it's all over the place, but you could really feel it begin to let go mid-corner. Around, I'm not sure if you can see it clearly, but around that point, as you're entering, apex, that's when you can really feel the tyres begin to slip. So that wasn't apparent with the UC7. So yeah, all in all, not a bad performer. So as for the wet braking course, we managed a stopping distance of close to 2 meters better than the competitors' tyres. Now that might not sound like much, but in a real life situation, that could mean the difference between a honk or having to stop by the roadside and exchange numbers.
Last but not least, we also got to experience the SportContact 7 in a taxi ride around the circuit. From the passenger seat, the SportContact 7 understood the assignment because the black chili compound is like hot glue on the track surface.
So, to sum up the all-new Continental ComfortContact CC7, well, if you're in the market for a quiet, refined, comfortable tyre that's also a pretty solid performer, then I highly recommend you give this one a closer look. For the Malaysian market, once again, tyre sizes range from 13 to 16 inches with a speed rating from T to V. If you're looking for something a step above, or maybe the CC7 doesn't fit your car, then there's the UC7, the UltraContact 7. That one's a top candidate for a premium all-round touring tyre. And for those who prefer to take corners that bit harder than the rest of us, go with the SC7, SportContact 7. That one's your best friend. Yeah? And on that note, I think it's time we call it a day. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, hit that bell icon. I'll see you guys in the next one. Drive safe, everybody.